Jeez, it is warm in here. Turn the AC on before we even think about jumping on the track. What is good, everybody? It is the Godfather of VR, the ageless wonder. There's the AC. The man Lincoln Clay, and we are back on GT7 for another go at Daily Race A on Suzuka, because I prefer the GT3 cars. Feels like there's something I needed to do before I go to the track. Oh well. Any case, excuse me. I know I was going to say something about the PSVR 2, but I think what I wanted to say was when I talk about the PSVR 2, it's hard for me to talk about the headset without caveats, and sometimes it may sound like I'm skeptical of the headset or something. That's not the case. In fact, one of the things that I do like about the headset that I don't mention is the FOV. I mean, the FOV is 110 degrees, which doesn't sound like much over a lot of headsets that have a 90-degree FOV. But that extra 20 degrees makes a difference because there's no binocular overlap. And so I feel like I got a healthy field of view whenever I'm wearing a PSVR 2. And I think my son's Valve Index had the biggest FOV of headsets that I've tried. And even though the headsets, I think, is a little bit outdated by today's standards, my son still absolutely loves that headset. And with me being a VR sim racer, you know, sharpness is paramount for me. And my good friend Ham is looking into possibly getting a Pimax Crystal. And he was even debating about whether to get the Vario Aero. And I'm just kind of waiting on him to see what he thinks, because he's one of the few people that I trust when it comes to seeking an honest opinion. So it's quite pricey though. I think the Pimax Crystal is about $1,600 US, and the Vario Aero, I believe, is $2,000 US. That's a lot of money, but now the G2 that I have, if it didn't have such a small sweet spot, I wouldn't even think about getting another headset. I'd be completely fine with that headset. But that's the thing. It's got a small FOV. Now, don't get me wrong. The power of my 4090 makes the entire picture pretty clear. Even out of the sweet spot, it's still clear enough that I can make out whatever I need to. And I think that's kind of about where the PSVR 2 sits. The sweet spot is clear. Outside of the sweet spot, it's still clear enough for you to see what you need to see. So let's let's check the daily race. Hope everybody is good on this Friday, and I've got some weird plans this weekend. After I'm done with this stream, I'm strongly considering doing a PokerStars VR stream on PSVR 2. This has never happened to me before in all my years of streaming PokerStars VR, but since PokerStars VR has come out on PSVR 2, I've gotten a few comments about people who either don't care about the algorithm of the game, or feels the game is rigged, or promotes unhealthy gambling, that kind of stuff. So I kind of want to go live and talk about that a little bit. So that's one possibility. Another thing that I want to do is rent the 1932 version of Scarface. That's the original movie. I never knew that movie. I never knew it existed. I thought the 1983 movie with Al Pacino was the only Scarface that existed. But I want to see the original and compare it to the classic one with Al Pacino. So that's a possibility. And what else was I thinking about doing? I don't know. Maybe play some other games. I don't know what. Haven't played Breachers in a while. And Ghost of Tabor, I really want to learn that game, but You know, I'm too far behind. I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't be able to catch up. I also thought about playing some Call of Duty. I've actually had some fun with that the last time I played it. I enjoyed watching my son play, and I actually played a little bit myself, or even Battlefield. So, um, play it by ear. Tomorrow, I do plan on doing some low field motorsports daily races. It's on Suzuka, so both the daily races for GT7 and ACC low field motorsports is on Suzuka this week. So the only adjustments I would need to make is the behavior of the cars. I wouldn't really have to adjust to either of the tracks since they're pretty much the same on both platforms. So I think we are ready to go ahead and get a few laps in. Um, oh, I know another thing that I wanted to mention is that for all the frustration that I felt with GT7, um, I do like seeing new people get into the game on PSVR 2. When somebody makes a video that they put on that headset for the first time and try GT7 on PSVR 2, I love seeing it because I love seeing more and more people get into VR sim racing. So despite all my frustrations with GT7, I still think it's the biggest platform to bring awareness to VR sim racing. And I think with one of the elements of the penalty system removed, I didn't get all that mad the last stream, um, but I am a little bit concerned. There is a YouTuber by the name of Kirith. He looks Middle Eastern, but he has a British accent. He's actually upset about the one thing that I was praising. I was glad that Polyphony Digital appeared to have removed the part of the penalty system where people will hit you and knock you off the track. It seems like they really filter the penalty system where it's not so easy to get a penalty anymore. What he was fussing about was he was in a race with a dirty racer, a notorious dirty racer, and this guy was slowing everybody down, blocking off traffic, letting people deliberately run into him, and no penalties were assessed. So he was actually pretty upset about that, and he let it be known. With him having 50,000 subs, his complaint will probably carry a little more weight than mine. But on the flip side of that, when I let my frustrations be known about the penalty system, I went on Twitter and tagged Polyphony Digital. That's what I love. I love GT3 cars. Now, I've said this so many times. Aristolis, I think he's the vehicle engineer over at Kunos. So he's in charge of the physics that the cars, the physics of the cars in the game. He gives back to the community through streams, where he'll do sessions where he'll let somebody do a few laps and he'll analyze what they did wrong, yada yada yada. Well, I super chatted him and I asked him if ACC would get PSVR 2 support on PS5, and his exact words were, "Too many resources, the console's not strong enough." When he said that, I originally did not want to believe him because Sony's been making everybody be tight-lipped about PSVR 2 leading up to its release. So I was hoping that was the case with Kunos, that Sony was making them be quiet about the VR support. Oh shit. But this, turn this back on. But some of the compromises that I've seen in GT7, I'm convinced that he's right. That I said this on my last stream that for some of these games, I'm convinced that the PSVR 2 headset itself, I think, is a good headset, but I think the PS5 is underpowered, and I think this game is a prime example of the console being underpowered because I have seen so many compromises in this game. Case in point, because I think they made so many compromises to try to free up, to try to use as little resources as possible. And one of the things is the cockpit view. When you're in VR, the cockpit view is the only view you have. Whereas ACC, for instance, even in VR, you can still cycle through all the different camera angles. You can still do the bonnet, the cockpit, the helmet, the chase cam, all the different cams, all the different camera angles. Everything is fully rendered. Whereas, like on ACC and VR, I can actually get out of my seat and stand outside the car and look at the car. Whereas GT7, as soon as you get out of your seat, the VR blacks out and you'll see a wire frame of the car, and then everything will, everything will come back once you get back into your seat. It basically get back into your play space. No, but I think that's the way they passed it off. Especially when talking about hybrid games and the 120 frames and stuff like that. Like, see, when they talked about the 120 frames, they didn't call it reprojection. They were basically, roundabout saying that AMD's, I think, FRS technology that's similar to Nvidia's DLSS technology is what was going to be able to allow this game to run at 120 frames per second. Now that I see how this reprojection works, now I see that they had to do it because the console does not have enough power to run this game at a native 90 frames per second, which I believe a native 90 frames per second would make the picture clear. So instead we got 120 frames reprojection, and it causes you to see ghost trails when going around corners and stuff. If they were to just run this game at a native 60 frames per second in VR, you would get a choppy I've done iRacing a couple of times, but I never tried to change the camera angle because I prefer the cockpit view. But in all fairness though, iRacing, because of the dated graphics, I think iRacing is not a very demanding game, and it can run on just about any computer in VR. I think if you have a 2070 or better, iRacing can run it pretty smooth, and still run it pretty good. But I think the PS5 is underpowered, and I think this game is highly detailed, and I think that's a combination that makes the console underpowered, and I've seen a lot of compromises with this game. Time to go. Let's go. Well, you guys got to see my big screen TV and got to see wires everywhere. Where are my gloves? Where are my gloves? Where are my gloves? Hey, thank you. Yep. That is very puzzling. that game does not look good. Oh shit, I forgot to change the steering sensitivity. So this race is gonna be a wash. Because I've got my presets on my wheelbase, and for ACC I use preset 2 that I customize, and for GT7 I use preset 3. I'm stuck on preset 2, so I'm basically using my ACC settings on GT7. So the car is going to have a very wide steering radius. Holy shit, it's not even working. That's weird. Hold on, folks. That's weird. My wheelbase isn't working. Oh, I guess it won't work if you don't have everything plugged up. So this race is a wash. Crap. It's weird. Screw. The wheelbase is not wanting to work. Holy fuck. Yeah, I'm connected to it. Oh, this is the headache. Oh, God. I just got disqualified from a race. That is going to hurt. Oh, shit. That goes there. Yeah, I really screwed that one up. But the thing about it is, all the buttons were functioning. Yeah, yeah, my wheelbase is let me shut it off. Turn it back on. Oh, I know what the fuck happened. don't know what the hell happened. God damn it. All these fucking wires tripping all over the place. I've got my PS5 running through a capture card. It's not about the PS5. What happened is the drive hub it got unplugged. The USB-C cord that runs from the PS5 to the drive hub itself, that got disconnected. So when I connected it again, now there's modes you got to cycle through, because you got like the Fanalogic, you got like I think like a Fanatec mode and a Logitech mode and shit like that. So now I've got to cycle through those settings. So now I think we're finally set. Let's getting disqualified from that race is gonna hurt. Hey, how's it going, Ham? I think I got disconnected. I mean, I know. My drive hub got disconnected because I just entered a race. No, because I don't know if you connected the drive hub or not, but this is just a headache of with this DD1 not being a native headset. I have to run it through the drive hub. That's not really that much of an issue because that's the first time that this has ever happened, but I know what happened. Just before I went live, I tripped over the cord and I plugged it back in, but I don't think it was completely plugged in. I think that could have been the problem. So let's see if we can get a qualifying lap. Nope, it's still not working. There it is. Now it kicked in. Oh, that was not good. Alright, let's check the VR part of it. Make sure we good.
if you're still watching him, I bought a new amp for my bass shakers, 120 watt amp, and I hooked them up to the computer, and I believe I blew the amp out after about a good 45 minutes of use. I was running a couple of races on ACC, and because it's a 120 watt amp, I turned it up higher than I would with the knob sound amp that I normally use, and it just quit. Oh, fuck! Excuse my language, folks. Gosh. How you doing? Been doing pretty good, thank you. Yeah, I took a little bit of a break. I had been highly frustrated with this game because of the penalty system. It encouraged dirty racing, so I took a break. But it looks like they addressed it. Damn near did it again. So this is gonna be a bad lap. Yeah, definitely Mass Effect. Did you see how well I took those massive corners? How you doing, Craig? Unless you got a Logitech wheel that was specifically made for the Xbox, it should work. Because when it comes to racing wheels, Logitech is pretty much the most, Logitech and Thrustmaster are pretty much the most well-known and the most versatile. So, all right, let's get a good lap in this time. Oh shit, I did it again. All the lights lit up. With Logitech and Thrustmaster, especially if it's a PlayStation specific wheel, it should work right out of the box, just plug and play. So I don't understand why you're having problems. Wow. Yeah, then it should be plug and play right out of the box. So I don't know. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be what it is. That's the sim racing guys telling you that you gotta grab that DD Pro. So my 204.9 qualifies me 11th. Holy shit. The fastest lap here is 202. I won't even come close to that. Even on ACC, I think my fastest lap is 203.1, I believe. Might have even been a 202.9 before 1.9. Gaming Legends. Thank you. So, how did you guys like the VR portion of the PlayStation Showcase as well as the Meta Showcase? I'll give you guys my thoughts on Quest 3 after this race. Yeah, I'm Floyd Mayweather's first cousin. His father, Floyd Mayweather Sr., is my uncle. I am also the oldest of Floyd's first cousins. Floyd's 46, I'm 56. new move. Yeah, I got a lot of stories growing up. Oh yeah, definitely. I love VR. It's the only way to race. Damn it! This is a DD1. DD2 has 25 Newton meters of torque. This has 20. Shit! Damn it, I got too greedy. And paid the price. But if they make mistakes, I can still get past them. So most of you know, but just a reminder that I also race if it's what you love, go for it. I mean, I've said it so many times that between my 3 PCs, my 2 PlayStation 5s, all my VR headsets, I easily got like around $15,000 into this shit. Just this cockpit that I'm sitting in right now, I think I got about $3,700 into this cockpit that I'm sitting in. The cockpit itself, I paid a little over $900 for it. The wheelbase was $1,200. The wheel itself, the steering wheel, was $300 because I bought the metal quick release. The pedals that I'm using, where you see my shoes in the other camera, those were about $370. And then I bought other wheelbases as well as other pedals in the past too. So I mean, as far as gaming altogether in the last 10 years, shit, I might have more closer to $20,000 invested in the gaming as a whole. But it turned into a rabbit hole. It's one of those things where I started out, you know, on some budget shit, but I decided that I wanted to get better. And I had a saying, and I always had a saying when it comes to buying equipment for what it is you like to do, especially if you're competitive. I have this saying that the more potential you think you have, the more money you think you need to spend on better equipment. So I feel that I've got equipment good enough to compete with the professionals, but I don't have the skills to compete with them. I would put myself at slightly above average. Like somebody just went off the tracks. Yeah. You know, Tantrum, I would agree with you because I don't drink and I don't smoke. And like all my shit is paid off. You know, all my cars are paid off. So it's just, you know, rent is really all I'm worried about. And because of that, and all the overtime that I've worked over the years, it allowed me to buy toys. Yeah, and I was saying that, you know, it is what it is, but if I didn't, you know, if I was a drinker and a smoker and stuff like that, I wouldn't even have any money to buy the shit that they say we waste our money on. But I bet you a lot of those same people that say we waste our money on our hobbies are probably the same people that buy an iPhone every year. That's like buying a damn new car every year. You know, you have people that spend $1,500 on an iPhone every year. Now, granted, I have spent a ton of money on my computers and this cockpit and all kinds of other shit, but I feel like I've got premium equipment, so I won't need to upgrade for years, if at all. You know, unless a new form of wheelbase comes along that makes direct drives obsolete, I'll never need another wheelbase again, because this wheelbase is 20 Newton meters of torque. In a real life car that you drive has about 6. When it comes to pedals, These V3 pedals aren't the best, but they're still load cell pedals. And as far as I'm concerned, for a lot of years, these V3 pedals were the benchmark, because every time a new company comes along and they introduce their V3, their load cell pedals, the first thing they want to do is put them up against the Fanatec V3 pedals. So the V3 pedals, in my opinion, were the benchmark for load cell pedals. I mean, if you want to take it there, a lot of people don't seem to care for Fanatec, but they set the benchmark for a lot of shit, because like when Moza came along, people were comparing like their I think it's their R21 to the DD1. You know, Sim Magic, you know, whoever, they were all comparing their, you know, people that was reviewing their products was all comparing it to Fanatec products. Select from garage. All right, we'll do this race. Oh, no. You know, if it is a... Oh, you know what? Now that I stop and think about it, you got a Logitech wheel. It should work on ACC. You'll just have to go through and select Logitech as the brand of wheel that you're using. But even if it doesn't let you select the Logitech, you should still be able to go through and manually map out the wheelbase. Let's see. Shall we try a different car? Yeah. I mean, he's big enough that he can pretty much get anything he wants free. You know, he's not big into VR racing, but if he wants a headset, he'll get it, because he's sampled numerous headsets in his reviews. But I can't knock him for getting stuff free, because I think he's got about 100,000 subs or something like that, something around there. And I'm sure he probably didn't do that overnight. I mean, shit, I've been on YouTube now since 2017, and I'm sitting at 1,300 subs. I mean, I went through a stretch where I only had got like 2 subs over a 3-month period. You know, you go through your droughts. You know what? Let's have some fun. Let's take the American junk. Something about this car, I like it. I don't know why. Oh, this is still gonna let me go with my 204.9. Woo, shit! American muscle. Oh, cool. That's something that I meant to say, that I'm in a couple of years, I'm hoping to buy my first house. And assuming that happens, I want to put a motion rig in the basement. Or at the very least, I want to get some actuators. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could still get some actuators and put them in, and put them on the rig here in this apartment, because, you know, basically actuators are just basically 4 hydraulic legs. Am I the only one here with a Corvette? Yeah, I should have took the Porsche. I think it looks to me like the Porsche might have the might be one of the better cars on this track. At least for this game. Apartment, 1-bedroom apartment. There you go. Oh my God, I should have stuck with my NSX or went to the Porsche. Absolutely. No, they don't. And that's been one of the knocks about this game in VR. It's like I said, if I pointed out, if I took a pen and pad and pointed out everything that I think stands out about this game, where I can, you know, relative to the compromises that I felt they made, the list would be fairly long. Now I know why I screwed up. I totally forgot that I'm on hard tires and I'm still using the same ACC brake markers. Whereas being that I'm on hard tires, I gotta brake a little bit sooner. Definitely. Oh yeah, yeah. Because on PC you got the crew chief app that'll keep you informed of how far a car back is and all that stuff. So I came dead last. No, I came second to last. Now, something else that I've noticed, I could be wrong, but I've also noticed that lately, these daily races that I've been in have had 12 people in it instead of 16. When it, as far as online goes, when this game first came out, the lobbies, the online lobbies had 20 cars or 20 people. And then it went from 20 to 16. Now it seems like it's 12. So if it's gone down to 12, I think that goes back to the point that I was trying to make about the PS5 being underpowered and Sony or Polyphony Digital having to move some resources around or take some shortcuts. I think we'll give a Porsche a try this time. Handles better. Definitely handles better than that Corvette. I don't like how this steering wheel feels like it's right up under my chin though. push feels pretty good on this track. Yeah, online has 16. It started out with 20 when the game first launched. Well, I'm personally not a fan of Forza Motorsports because I think their user base has the dirtiest racers that I've ever gone against. But if the game has VR support on PC, I will pick it up. Now, as far as the 60 frames ray tracing, I don't doubt that the game will do 60 frames. The ray tracing, maybe. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because given how much Microsoft lies, I don't know. I'm not gonna. I think there's a 50-50 chance it'll get VR on PC. if Microsoft would have followed through with VR, like they originally said they would, I think Forza would have the better chance of having ray tracing between them and Sony, because Microsoft doesn't really hold people to quality standards the way Sony does. I don't think he was ever trying to. I really don't think they were trying to compete in the first place. I didn't try to hit him. He lost control in front of me. Yep. I think Microsoft quit trying as soon as they had that bad launch with the Xbox One. I think. Yeah. I think because of that bad lineup, I mean not bad lineup, the bad launch that the Xbox One had when they pissed everybody off with the DRM and the 24-hour check-in and all that bullshit. They never recovered from that launch, in my opinion, and they quit trying. Because while Sony was putting out games like Spider-Man and God of War, Microsoft was putting out shit like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. So they quit a long time ago. Microsoft isn't just now quitting. Phil Spencer did was sell everybody a lie and try to make people think that games like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay and Bleeding Edge was on the same level as Spider-Man, God of War, Detroit Become Human. And those games, Microsoft's games was not on that level. Crackdown, all that other bullshit they put out. And people paid $500 for the Xbox One X to play that stuff. Well, first of all, it didn't help that they tried to force you to take the Kinect with the console, and then then they lied to everybody and said, no, you can't break the Kinect off from the console because the console won't work without it. And then they put out an update allowing you to break the console, the Kinect away from the console. So they lied. And then I don't think they gave devs any incentive to want to develop games for it. I mean, they literally pulled the plug on Kinect like a couple of months after the console launched. Second place. Take it. Oh, no wonder that guy caught up to me. He was an A+ driver. Another lap or two and he probably would have caught me. Not gonna lie. Now, as far as that DMR situation, the digital DRM, digital rights management, I had read an article that basically, behind closed doors, both Microsoft and Sony had agreed that they would both implement the digital rights management, because if both councils are doing it, then gamers have nowhere to run in terms of saying that no, we're not going to stand for this. But Microsoft went ahead and talked about the DRM first, because when Don Matrick, it isn't just the we have a device for that. It's called the 360. It wasn't just that line. It was the entire presentation, because with that presentation of the Xbox One, it seemed like they talked about more about what you can't do rather than what you can do. No, you cannot share, you cannot share a disc with a friend. No, you cannot break the Kinect loose. No, if you don't check in within 24 hours, the console turns into a brick. All that kind of shit. And, so from what I'm understanding, the article that I read, Microsoft got massive backlash about the way they presented the Xbox One, and when Sony saw it, they quick ran a day one patch through the PlayStation that removed the digital rights management. But they pretty much had an agreement behind closed doors, like pretty much had a handshake agreement that they both would do the digital rights management. And so when Sony saw the backlash that Microsoft was getting, they quick pulled out of the DRM shit and then turned around and you could make the case that Sony backstabbed him with that commercial, with that little ad would show he's saying this is how you share a game with a friend. DRM exists on the PlayStation as well. It's just that Sony snuck it in over time with the updates. They just never said anything about it. And that's one thing about Sony. They may not lie as much as Microsoft, but at times they're not transparent either. So it is. So according to the article that I read, it isn't that Sony said no to DRM. They saw the backlash that Microsoft got because Microsoft went first in presenting the Xbox One. And when Sony saw the backlash that Microsoft was getting over the DRM, they quick pulled it. Not only that, according to the article that I read, Sony was going to charge $460 for the PlayStation 4, and it was also going to include their camera as well. But they wanted... Yeah, they eventually worked it back in. Sony eventually worked it back in. And so coming back to what I was saying was that Sony originally was going to sell the PS4 with the camera for $460, but in a move to undercut Microsoft, they removed the camera and dropped the console down to $400 at a launch price. So because of that terrible launch that Microsoft had, not only did they run an update through which allowed you to disconnect the Kinect from the console, which removed the 24-hour check-in, which removed the DRM, after a few months on the market, they eventually sold the Xbox One without the Kinect and matched the $400 price of the PS4. So, and I think that was just a disastrous launch that they never recovered from. And I think because of that, Microsoft ended up switching gears and started making a lot of these TV dinner-looking video games, and eventually made their way over to Game Pass, because that's basically what Game Pass is full of. It's full of TV dinners.
I've got to run to the bathroom, folks. Okay. Yeah, to respond to that comment, yeah, Sony pulls their bullshit too. They're just not as blatant about it as Microsoft. No, from what I'm understanding, no, they didn't have the 24-hour check-in, but yes, they did have the digital rights management, the DRM, and they removed it with a day one patch when they saw the backlash that Microsoft was getting. Yeah, you can still share games because the way Microsoft was trying to do it is you could loan a disc to a friend, but they would only get 24 hours to play that game. After 24 hours, they would get locked out, and if they wanted to play the game, they would have to buy the game digitally. Yeah, I noticed that. It's only 12 people. So yeah, it's gone from the online lobbies went from 20 when the game launched to 16. Now it's 12. Something is definitely going on behind closed doors. Oh my God, who didn't see that coming?
Oh, he trying to bump draft him. That's what I'm wondering. Because I think I think over the months they keep tweaking this thing. Because remember, when the headset first launched, everybody was saying the GT7 was blurry, and they kept, you know, in my opinion, they kept running updates and moving assets around in order to try to shift focus to giving you a clear picture. I will admit, on the straights, when you're going down the straights, the picture is clear, and it does run buttery smooth. It's just going around the corners, you see that reprojection, but maybe it's me. Maybe the reprojection doesn't seem so bad today. got on the gas too fast. Okay, how's the clarity? Took 6. Clean race bonus, all right. How long we been live? Because I know at some point, I want to jump on some ACC. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Let's go and unlock. Let's go redeem this roulette ticket. And then I think we'll wrap it up, and then I'll jump onto some ACC. And if you guys want to watch me do ACC in VR, come on over to Twitch and check me out over there. Link to my Twitch channel is in the description. Let's redeem that ticket. We'll check that, because I can show you guys. We'll check it. If they give me enough money, I'm going to get that Toyota hybrid. $10,000 credits for a 4-star roulette. Are you fucking kidding me? Alright, let me grab the other controller and I'll show you guys. So you go to my page. Oops, not there. Oh, there it is. There it is right there. You see my driver rating is a B. And actually, I took a hit because of that disqualification earlier. But, let me see. It says here, I bought 15 cars. I've spent almost 6 million credits on cars. I've spent 31,000 on customizations. Okay. Over like almost 1.5 million tuning cars. Let's see here. Total distance driven, almost 7,000 miles. Total credits acquired is 13 million. Holy shit. Now this is what I want to talk about right here. I have 19 clean races, 5 fastest laps, 6 pole positions. I've competed in 155 races. I've won 9 of them. I've got 54 top 5 finishes. So, but yeah, you see the driver rating right there. That is actually actually because of that disqualification, another couple of more bad laps, bad races, and I might have went back down to a C driver. So I will say this about the VR on PSVR 2. Um, I don't know. I just know it's in the daily races. So again, when the game first came out, there was 20-player online lobbies. Then it dropped to 16. Now it dropped to 12. So I think it came down to one of two things. They either needed to free up more resources for the PSVR 2, or they had to drop the number to 12 to accommodate the cross-gen play with PS4. Let me see if it'll let me move around. Damn, it got me moving slow as hell. I want to walk up to these people and see how close, what the character models look like. I don't know, it kind of looks about the same as the average character model that I would see in other games, but I don't know. The hair actually looks a little more realistic though. That's as far as it'll let me go. I love GT3 cars. Even though it's old, it's still a beautiful car. right. Nice little tour. So that's going to do it for me. I'm going to take a break here and then decide what I'm going to do next. I know I want to do something. So I just haven't figured out whether I'm going to watch that 1932 version of Scarface or jump on ACC. I already said I was going to do that. So yeah, maybe that'll be next, ACC, but I can't say when because I know I'm not immediately going to jump over there. I'm hungry, so I need to go pick up some food and maybe sometime after that. So make sure you follow me on Twitch so you can catch me over there playing Lofio Motorsports on SATA Corsa Competizione. And I'm also thinking about doing like a late night stream playing some Poker Stars. So with that, I'm going to boogie on out of here. I want to thank you all for watching, and we will see you all on the next one. Until then, you all know the line. Wakanda forever. Long live the king, and deuces. We'll see you, everybody.